Oh, here we go. It's working. Yeah. I just woke up a couple hours ago. I don't know what my hair is doing. I don't brush it. I don't do anything about the way that it looks. I just sort of live with the way that it looks when I wake up. And maybe that's a bad thing, but I don't particularly care. It confuses me, all the time people tell me what good or bad things are to do. There's these rules that run the world, run human relationships, and run things in general. All of these strange rules that exist all over the place. And I have a lot of trouble wrapping my head around them. Like, obviously, I don't understand people, or else I would be able to get along with people in a easier way. Um, I mean, a lot of people's motivations, if I try to break them down logically, they can make sense. But I have to, in order to understand them, use something else as a reference point. Like, I often get sort of made fun of, or at least have jabs thrown at me for saying stuff like, the way that I understand people is through anime and things like that, which is sort of a meme. It's kind of a joke for me to say that. But it's also true. Like the way that I understand people is largely through media and then using that as a reference point. Like, if I didn't have art, I would not understand anyone because, like, the main mode of communication I understand is art. And so, good to see you, Star. Hello, hello, C. Um, yeah, I just woke up a couple hours ago. Um, you know, but yeah, like the main way that I understand people is through art. I don't understand people like at my baseline, and so oftentimes when I get into conversations with people, I get into these thought loops like, especially if it's like a radical disagreement or something like that, of like, why can't you just think different? Why do you think like this? I don't understand why you think like this. And it's difficult. It's really really difficult for me to understand other people. Especially like when I was younger, I'd get into these huge arguments with people where I'd get really angry, and I either severed a lot of relationships that way or made a lot of people really angry at me. And I just don't get it. I don't understand the rules that govern the world, like etiquette, politeness. Politeness has never made any sense to me. I've never understood politeness at all. Like, I try to be as polite as I can because I care about the feelings of other people. Um, but I don't understand why ethics are what they are. Like, I don't understand why politeness is a thing. I don't get it. I don't understand how any of it works. And I guess just part of why I stay in my room so much is because I don't understand why people do the things that they do. Um, what's up? My N-word says, that's your girl's face. Hey, what's up? Um, but yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand anything that makes the world turn. Like, normies, every time I'm in a situation with normies, like I'm always the odd one out. I'm always the either the super quiet one who no one understands, or it's like, why is this person here? Or I'm just making like really socially autistic mistakes all the time. Um, I don't know what to do about it. Uh, how do I fix this problem? How do I how do I fix this? I don't really know how this all works. You know, like if I were to say something along the lines of, like, if I were to make like a really sexual joke in public, like that would make total sense to me why someone would find that offensive because I've just heard people get offended about that so many times. But why though? Why are people offended by that? I don't know. It's all very difficult to me. I don't get it. By the way, I started smoking again. Um, this pack of cigarettes was like $3. So I was just at the Dollar General, And I thought, why not? I'm 18 years old. It doesn't, I can do it. Why not? So I started smoking again on occasion. It's just relaxing for me. It's just relaxing to be able to have a cigarette in my mouth. I don't know why. But even when I'm not getting like the really nice effects of it, like there's something just internally comforting about being able to smoke. I'm a really bad influence. I'm a really bad influence, man. Oh, how is everybody else doing today? You got something you want me to talk about? I just kind of started the stream because I was bored. All I've been doing is watching anime. Yeah, this is the smoking stream now. Ran out of Adderall, but I got some PCP, so now I'm happy. Nice. Have fun with your PCP, man. Um, Remember not to take too much, because if you take too much PCP, you won't remember what happens the next day, you know? I thought you didn't like PCP. I remember you telling me on Discord that you didn't like PCP. Do you like it now? Yeah, nice. I still haven't done PCP myself. Um, I remember like a long time back, I allegedly, very allegedly, uh, got some 3-Neo PCP that just never showed up in the mail, as it got seized by customs, most likely. Um, so RIP, RIP to 3-Neo PCP. Very allegedly got seized by customs. Yeah, I have nothing else. I know that feel. Like, I guess that's probably why I'm smoking right now, is because if I had something else, I wouldn't be smoking, but cigarettes are the only thing I have. I could just go to the store and buy them. If I could go to the store and buy some other drug, I would do that. But this is all I have. Prohibition be like that. Prohibition making people like this is the worst drug for your health essentially. Like in terms of stuff that's bad for your health, cigarettes are like number one. It's what is it? Every cigarette you smoke, it takes 10 minutes off your life. Kill me faster, please. Um it's crazy to me that somehow cigarettes are legal, but like LSD isn't. Like LSD has never killed anyone from an overdose. You can overdose on nicotine, that's possible. But no one's ever overdosed on LSD. People have done crazy things on LSD that have caused them to die. Not a whole lot, but it has happened. You can have a psychotic reaction if you take too much of it. But most people do not drive on LSD because they're incredibly sensitive to everything around them. And so they wouldn't be driving if they're just having like a moderate trip. And in general, if you have a good set and setting, it's not going to be dangerous. It's very safe. They've done studies that have shown that even on kids, like developing brains are not harmed by using LSD. And they've done studies that have said the same thing with psilocybin mushrooms. It's incredibly safe, and you can't overdose on shrooms either. There's no documented cases of that happening after like decades and decades of the two drugs existing. Um, and so like, why is it that cigarettes are legal when these are actively destroying my lungs and kill people every year? Hundreds of thousands of people um, are dead every year because of cigarettes, but I can't buy LSD at the store. It makes no sense to me. Um, so you got your Trump bucks, boyo. No, I don't get Trump bucks, unfortunately. When the it's weird when the Trump bucks went through. I was 17 when the bill was passed. I'm 18 now, but I was 17 when the bill was passed. And so like I just can't get them basically. So yeah, if they do a second round of stimulus checks, I may be able to get that. But yeah, I can't get Trump bucks because of the age I was when they passed. My dad got Trump bucks, but you know, he got them, I didn't. Um, so I don't know. Maybe if another stimulus thing goes through, I can get Trump bucks. I can't get them right now. Um, Damn, that sucks. It really does suck. I want some LSD right now, but my dealer's being a bitch. I know that feel. Allegedly know that feel. I like how I have to preface every in case the feds, in case the glow niggers are viewing, in case there's a glow nigger in the chat. I have to always preface it with allegedly. Um, confused mind level 1000. What are you confused about? Born too early for Trump bucks, too late for 9/11. Sad face. Yeah, it's the worst. It really is the worst feeling. I hate it. um, geez, like yeah, I mean I get 180 bucks from Social Security every month, not for being disabled or whatever. The reason I get 180 bucks is because technically I'm registered in school. And so because I'm registered in school, the Social Security just gives me money because my mom is disabled. So she gets money for all of her kids. And I don't live with my mom lives in a different state. But because my father claims me as a dependent for going to school, big air quotes going to school. I haven't shown up since December, but technically I'm registered in school, so I get money every month for being her dependent, and the check comes on like the third or the fourth, and I just put it in my bank. It's money right there, free money. Um, it's kind of cool how that works, but beyond that, I get like money from YouTube sometimes, but it was nice. It was nice this month because my dad got his Trump bucks. I didn't have to use my money to pay rent or to like pay for food and whatnot. So that was nice. The situation regarding the girl seems like she is not sure if she wants me back. Seems like it at least. Real sim powers over here. Good luck with that. Girls love big peepees. That is true. I got mine and I'm saving it just in case I go to jail. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Um, but yeah, like I really hope another stimulus check goes through, so that way, I could like just go to the IRS website and then get it. That would be really nice. Maybe I'd get like a really cheap car or something. That's sort of where my head is at. Maybe I'd get like a really cheap car and then just drive somewhere. I really don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Is this still lit? I don't know. This is not still lit. Where'd my lighter go? Yeah, it's situation right now. Whole world's boring. Simp it till you make it. It should. I don't want to work anymore. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to work at all. I've never worked like a proper job before. I've only ever worked on like farmland. I worked on my grandpa's farmland when I was Jesus Christ, I can't remember how old I was, and I got paid like very little for it. But beyond that, I've never really worked a job before, and I don't want to work a job. I love being a neat. Yeah, I love being a neat too, because when you're a neat, like you just have infinite time. You like all you can do is is whatever you want, and that's the best way to live. Did you already listen to Stars? I listened to a couple songs off the album. I didn't listen to the whole album yet. I listened to Long Season by Fishmans the other day and then passed out. I was meaning to listen to Stars, but I didn't do it yet. Um, but it was my family farm and I did it for free though. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My the farm I was working on was in Tennessee, very rural Tennessee is where I grew up. I lived there for 16 years. And I got paid like basically nothing for it. I think it was like $2, you know. It was very little money. But you know, it was what it was. $2 is a lot when you're, you know, a little kid. Yeah, is what it is. Farming is kind of cool though. Like I used to fantasize a lot about being a farmer as a kid just cuz I guess there were just so many farms around me. I thought it was a cool idea. I ordered a laptop battery and they stole it off my porch. RIP, man. Yeah, I live near a ghetto and I live kind of in a ghetto, but the ghetto that I live near is way worse. Um, but I think because I have such a big yard, nothing has ever gotten stolen off the porch before. And because I'm always home, so I just walk out the door and then grab the mail as soon as it gets here, you know? Um, yeah, is what it is. Is it be how it be? This cigarette's almost done. Um, that's why I hate ordering things. Yeah, it seems like people steal packages way more in Texas. Um, in Kentucky, people don't steal packages a lot. Um, I think next time I get paid by Google AdSense, I'm gonna get a lot of posters. You know, like I'm tired of just sitting in this room and not seeing as many posters. The room looks boring, you know? Next time I'm going to sit on my porch with my gun and my dog. That's based. That's very based, man. Yeah, this I don't know why, but whenever the cigarette gets like down to the filter or like close to the filter, it always tastes bad. It always starts tasting bad whenever it gets like very close to the filter. Like worse than it normally tastes. I don't There's probably a scientific reason for that or maybe I'm just bugging. I don't know. I don't like it. It always makes me it always makes like me put the bottom half of it down and then just get another one. Um I haven't smoked a cig since I was 15. Yeah, I stopped smoking around I want to say like the summer of 2019. It was around the summer of that year, maybe like the early fall, and I hadn't smoked since then. But I just started smoking again this month because you know I was like, well, I turned 18 last month, and it, I can do it, so why not? I just hate the taste of cigs. I like the way that they taste. I didn't like the way that they tasted when I started out, but I grew really accustomed to like to me it's just comforting. Like just having a cigarette is really comforting, and it kind of relieves my anxiety and makes me less depressed. And so I kind of grew to like the way that they taste. Usually, after a couple days of having not smoked, um, or excuse me, like the day after I smoked, like if I smoke like a few in a day, the day after they just don't, they, like my body just doesn't feel right. And then it normally just takes a couple days for me to be able to smoke again. I don't know why that is. But I don't know. It's weird. It's like these cigarettes I have specifically are bad. Like they're not good cigarettes, but I smoke them anyway because they're cheap. And I still like the taste of them. But taste is such a subjective thing that you know, it's weird. I like the only words I can use is just say it's comforting, because like I smoked black and milds back in the day. I see. Um, my favorite brand of cigarettes has always been Lucky's. Is that I like Lucky's and American Spirit. Uh, I haven't smoked Marlboro before. That's like the classic, you know. That's when people think of cigarettes in America, they think of Marlboro. I guess I'll buy some of those next time. Next time I have money, because AdSense is weird. AdSense pays you on the 21st. I don't know why they do that. Why does Google AdSense pay you on the 21st? Like every other internet financial conglomerate pays people on the first, the second, the third, the fourth. No, for some reason AdSense pays you on the 21st. That's such a weird time to pay someone, you know? Like, I don't know why Google does it that way. Because I open the AdSense app on my phone, and like on the 14th, it'll tell me how much money I've made, like several days before it pays me. Isn't rolling your own cigs cheaper? It is cheaper, but I don't know why. I just like having a box of them. Like I like being able to reach into my pocket and take a box of them out, and then I don't know why. I don't know why it is. It's comforting to me. I know I keep saying that, but uh, I don't. Maybe it's because I started smoking so young that I find it comforting for that reason. I mean, the first time I smoked it was with rolling papers, but I'm too lazy. Yeah, it probably is laziness. That probably is. I'm just lazy. That's why. That's way easier for me to explain. I'm gonna use that excuse from now on. Um, but I don't know. It's weird. Let's see here. Hello, North Royalton. You making a lot of shekels, boy. I used to make way more shekels. Like, I still make I make quite a bit for the size of my channel, but I used to make way more money. Like on Patreon, I was making like 180 a month at one point, and then I'd get the Google AdSense money, which would be like 150 a month and stuff like that. And that was really cool. It was really cool when I was making that much money. The problem was is that a lot of it I couldn't spend on myself. I had to give it directly to my dad so we could buy food, so we could pay for rent, and like all that money I got, I just couldn't spend on stuff that I wanted. Um, it was only because of like the way I got my Nintendo Switch, for example, was because I would have friends who would just give me money. Without that, and I mean that was a basically just a Christmas present. I got a bunch of money for Christmas. But those were like the main times I was able to get stuff for myself was because just friends would gift me stuff, and that was really cool. It was really kind that people did that. Um, but a lot of like the money that I made directly from YouTube would just go straight to paying for you know, necessities essentially, and it's part of being poor. You know, like being poor in America is the worst thing. I don't like it. They literally being poor forced me to go to school. I had to go to school because I was poor. Because at the welfare office, back in like I want to say September of 2019, my dad was applying for welfare because we needed to eat, and they said, "Well, hey, you have this kid here who's 17 years old, and they ought to be in school if you're going to get this money." And so there I was. After 2 years of being a NEET, I was forced to go back into school because we needed money. And eventually I just stopped going and they just didn't care. The welfare people just kept giving us money. And now, like, I get that money every month from Social Security, the 180 bucks for going to school, even though I don't show up at school. And I mean, now with Corona, nobody shows up at school. But. Oh, hey, Oso Salapsik, nice to see you. Yeah, same. Came from a poor druggy family. Yeah, I don't want to dox too much, like live on air, but yeah, no, I can relate. I can definitely relate, man. I didn't light this properly. Yeah, fucking sucks. Life sucks, man. I hate it. I hate it so much. Looking like Eggy smoking that cig. Man, I love Eggy. Yeah, I watch his streams every now and again, but I miss his vlogs. Eggy he is one of my favorite YouTubers ever. Like that dude's iconic. I love Eggy so much. I can be your friend, Flitz, amigos. Yes, amigos over here. Same. I miss the old R9K Eggy though. Yeah, me too. Me too. There was a thread about me on R9K the other day. I was looking through because I look through 4chan every day because I used to look through Discord every day and I kind of replaced it with looking through 4chan again. And someone posted, "Why do bad things happen to good people anon? Pick related." And then it was a picture of me on the thread. That was really weird. But I've seen me posted on R9K a couple times before. Yeah, yeah. I want R9K Eggy to return. I need the based arc to return. People need to become more based. Like I don't really watch much YouTube anymore because I can't find anything that's interesting to me anymore. Like it feels like everybody's just doing the same thing all the time. And that's why I want to kind of fill the void with making better videos of my own. If he's too normal now. It feels kind of like it, you know? Like I wish more neats made videos, but the problem is a lot of neats like aren't that creative or interesting. A lot of them are. They just are too scared to make stuff, and that's why I try to encourage people to make stuff. But like a lot of neats, they just it isn't for them to make videos. And I want to see more people doing not doing the same videos that I do, but like doing stuff similar to what I do, of just being fucking weird people on the internet. I want more weird people on the internet. Can I just have that? Can I just have weird people being weird? Like that's all I want to see. I hate normal people. Like every day it feels like I hate normal people more. Like they say as you get older that stuff gets easier to deal with and you get better about it. Like I'm the opposite. I just hate normal people even more, you know? He had to become normal to live. That is true. I'd rather become homeless than become normal. Like, point blank. I would rather be homeless than be normal. Um, I, I, I just hate it. Like, it's hard for me to describe how much I hate normal people because, like, there's the oh normal fags re meme that everyone kind of understands, but like I actually hate them, you know? Unless you watch my channel, then you're cool. Yeah, normal people suck. I have to LARP when I'm with other people. Yeah, there we go. We're back now. Yeah, YouTube does this to me every time. Every time I get fucking cucked. Every time I do a stream, they cut me off and then it's gone. What do you mean by normal? Um, like people who are socially affluent, people who can get along really well with other people. Like when I was in school, for example, I I never understood how people could just make friends with everybody so easily. How they had these like little cliques where they're just gossiping about other people all the time. It's like stuff like that, like being able, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't always know how to explain it what I mean by it, but like people who like function so well in society that it's annoying. Like who just care about meaningless shit. Like I don't want to talk about the weather. You know, I don't want to talk about what Joanne down the street did yesterday, or I don't want to see your fucking pictures of your breakfast on Instagram. I don't care. I don't care. You know? Um, I don't know how to describe it. You know? I just did drugs in bathrooms and fought people every day. Yeah, I mean, I had a year of school that was exactly like that. When I was in seventh grade, I had prescription Adderall, and so I would take the Adderall, or we had Ritalin at home as well. I'd take the Adderall and the Ritalin that was in my home, and I'd crush the pills up. I didn't even know how many pills you needed to get high back then because I was a fucking stupid kid. So I'd take like more pills than I needed. I'd get like heart palpitations, and I was like, okay, maybe I should take less. That was before I knew how to look up stuff about drugs on the internet. And I take these pills and I take them in the bathroom, and it would make it easier for me to, do my schoolwork or just feel better while I was at school. But that was the year I started getting into fights constantly, like all the time. I was getting into fights that year, and like compared to the year before, when I had like a relatively decent year in sixth grade, besides getting bullied all the time. I kind of just kept to myself and did my work. But that year, I never did my work. I was just getting into fights, arguing with people all the time. I was doing real bad. Um, but in eighth grade, I basically just became a NEET. I just stayed at home for all of eighth grade because I think my parents saw. They may not have been able to know that I was that what which drugs I was using, but I think they knew that I was using drugs. I feel like they could tell, especially like my dad. So you know, how's your day? Do you have a GF? Do you play sports? Just normal fag stuff to start a conversation. I hate it. Yeah, same here. It's really annoying. Like people are obsessed with having relationships. It's like whether or not you have a girlfriend is like it determines how good of a person you are. Like if you like to stay in your room all the time the way that I do, for example, people I've gotten looks from people when I tell them that like I'm a monster. People have looked at me basically like I am a monster just because I like to stay in my room all the time. Like it's like these people can't comprehend a different way to live, you know? It's like anything that goes outside of their own bubble is automatically just this fucking dangerous, horrible psychopath. Yeah, I fucking hate it. I hate people so much. Um, yeah. The girl I dated tried to stab me because I broke up with her. Holy shit. That's insane. Wow. How close to it did she come? They are addicted to cringe compilations? Yeah, basically. They're like they want to own people. They want to own people all the time. It's like being a normie. It's about finding your group and then learning how to own people that aren't in your group. That's basically what normiedom is. We're all the time, all the time. I hate it. I hate it so much. It was in my house. She broke the windows out of my car before she left. Jesus Christ. Yeah, just abandon relationships. My advice to everyone is to never date. That's probably terrible advice, but that's what I believe. Uh, I got bullied and physically harassed a couple times in school, but I never did anything about it because I didn't really see a point in it. Like, why would it help if I answered back? I I just was angry. So I reacted because I was mad at people. I was just angry all the time. Like that's when I got that. I think sixth and seventh grade were around the time I got really really into heavy metal music because I was just constantly angry. And so listening to heavy metal was it helped me a lot because it was like a vent for how mad I was all the time. Girls in Texas are crazy. I mean, girls in Tennessee were crazy too. I mean, pretty much everyone was, at least in the part that I was in. Um, In an old PCP episode, Ben told his roommates she thought she was this impossible character. Same applies to me. The niggas at school can't comprehend how I am, and I'm not even that weird. It really is the worst. Psychosocial, psychosocial. Yeah, reacting emotionally doesn't really solve problems unless you attract a mob to your side. Yeah, like it doesn't really solve anything. It just kind of makes you feel better in the moment, you know. And so that's why I don't really I mean I don't have anyone to fight with. And that's why I don't get into fights anymore. And I mean I'm just a different person than I used to be. US girls sound scary. Everyone in the US is scary. No, people in my experience, people in this country are not nice. I don't have any money right now, so I really don't want to run out of cigarettes. Is I I just want a girl. I want a girl to try stabbing me. That sounds fun. I mean, hey, whatever you're into, whatever floats your boat. I just fought. I'm pretty tall, so nobody wanted to fight me. Nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with fighting if that's what you enjoy. You know, I think like I often say that self-harm isn't that bad of a thing. Like, and I do believe that. Like, if you enjoy self-harming, then who am I to tell you to stop doing it? You know? If you enjoy fighting, who am I to tell you to stop doing it? It's your life. It's what you like doing. You know, I'm not going to be judgmental just because you live a different way. But you know, other people they'll tell you, "Oh, it's unhealthy. You got to stop it because it's unhealthy." Who cares? If they like doing unhealthy things, then they've decided that it's and what even is unhealthy in the first place? Like how do we measure that? Which is more important, physical health or emotional health? You know, I believe emotional health is more important. That like I used to say back when I was 13, I used to say that as long as I live a good life, I'd be happy dying at 40. And I still stand by that statement. Um, and like my physical health could completely go to shit by the time I'm middle aged if I just had enough fun, you know? Because I feel like people live way too long. And maybe this is just me, but like I feel like people live way too long. Like the idea of living to 50, I would get so bored by that point. What would be left to do, you know? What would be left to do? I don't know. Um, It's like I remember I had one conversation with this guy where he said, you know, you shouldn't smoke cigarettes because it'll shorten your life. And then I said, why should I care about my life going shorter? And then he said, so you can do things that you like to do. And then I just said, I like to smoke. So, you know, fucking people every time. Let's see here. I come from a small Jewish community in Chile, and most girls are crazy, especially because they are mostly rich. Yeah, rich people they live on a different plane. They are in their own universe. Um, the idea of coming from a rich Jewish community is funny to me. I was always told to man up and don't be a bitch about anything. If me or my brother cry, they would beat us. Yeah, I used to get beat a lot as a kid for crying too. Usually by my brother. Like if I would cry, my brother would take me into another room and he would just hit me a bunch of times. I remember one specific time, my brother thought I was being, you know, too much of a faggot. He thought I was being a fag, and he literally like took a pillow and tried to smother me with the pillow until like I got so dizzy that I could not properly breathe. Like my breath was so short after he took it off, and I was so dizzy that like I thought I was gonna die, you know? That was how long that you know, he put the pillow over me. And stuff like that happened all the time when I was a kid. I think it made me more cynical. I prefer the idea to live up to 1K like back before the flood with the Niflin Bros. Nice. That's why normies have families. Rich people are crazy, poor people are pretty crazy, everyone is crazy. Schizoids are ahead of the curve. I agree. Schizoids are the most rational people. Why did everyone get beaten as a kid? Uh, I don't, because we don't live in Europe. Is this a bad time? I don't think this is too bad of a time. Welcome to the chat, DZD. But yeah, I got beat a lot as a kid too. You know, the world's terrible. What's up? How are you doing? Hey, I say hey, what is going on? Is that a song reference? And I say hey, 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 hey. I say hey, what's going on? Is that what you're referencing? I don't know. I live in Europe. I wasn't beaten, but I wasn't loved. Heart. It normally people in the EU don't tend to beat their kids because it's illegal to do there. In the US, they just don't care. Boy life in the EU, don't get beaten. Yeah, it's the worst. Lean's album was leaked, you know. Was it leaked before it came out? I saw it came out officially the other day. Down to the filter again. Fucking hell. But yeah, like I hate people. I hate people so much. EU sounds like the life. I agree. I agree 100%. I would much rather live in the EU than live in the US. If I could live in the EU as soon as possible, I would do that immediately. Immediately. I would be homeless. I always say this that I would be homeless. Um if I could just live in the EU, I'd live in a tent. I don't care. I tolerate most people. I don't tolerate anyone. Hating people is unproductive. Hate normies instead. Most people are normies. Um, the thing with me is that like I end up hating a lot of people who even aren't normies if I stay around them too long. Like, I have this problem where just about everyone I've ever known, I've gotten mad at some point or just gotten really, really annoyed with for no reason. Like, usually there is like a small reason, but it's common for me to just get really fed up with people just by spending too much time around them. That's why I try to like limit my interactions with people just so I can get the good parts. You know, I want to get mainly the good parts because I like almost everyone I've ever known I've blown up at and gotten mad at some point. Like just blew up at them for no reason, you know? And so, like, limiting interactions kind of makes it easier. EU is a technocratic superstate. I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of terrible things about the EU, but a lot of the EU countries have like decriminalized drugs, for example. They have like free healthcare, so you don't have to pay for healthcare. They have like, off in some of the countries they have good freedom of speech. A lot of the countries they don't. Um, all these normal fags want to talk about is damn Corona or Trump. I'm sick of hearing it. Amen. Amen. I do not care about the coronavirus. I am tired of hearing about the coronavirus all the time. I mean, I mention it in my videos when I think it might be interesting or like as a joke. Like, I wear the mask as a joke, you know? Like, I think it's funny to wear the mask. I don't know if other people feel that way. But, yeah, I don't care about the coronavirus. I wish people would shut the fuck up about it. But then you lose on the comfy part of friendship when your understanding of each other is complete, so you can just meme around. I don't think understanding is ever complete. Like, I think, at least with me, there are things that there's always going to be problems with communication because people are just so hard to communicate with. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I find people really, really difficult to communicate with and make myself understood. And the act of just like trying to explain stuff to people is really like it takes out so much emotional energy from me that if I do a cost benefit analysis, then the better one to me is just being alone. Always the contrarian star. That is true. I mean, I sound like a contrarian because I say, like, I was just defending earlier today on the stream, I was just defending people who do self-harm. Like, no one else thinks that. Good point. I meant complete in an incomplete way. Fair enough. Um, but yeah, I sound like a contrarian. It's not because I'm trying to be one, it's just because my worldview is really warped. People who come from weird circumstances have weird beliefs. That's just something that happens, you know? People who come from weird circumstances just have weird beliefs, you know? I don't know what it is. Yeah. I wish to catch COVID and do isekai away from this hellmare world already. I mean, if you're gonna isekai away from the world, I feel like getting COVID isn't quite. Just become Jewish, Star. I tried that and it didn't work because I have Jewish heritage. I forget like the exact number, but it's something like 56% or something like that. Um, so I had a Jewish grandfather who I learned a lot about Judaism from. He taught me like some Yiddish and stuff back when he was alive, and I used to just like watch him sitting on his chair. He would just sit there and like smoke cigarettes and talk about Judaism. I remember in his home, like he would always smoke Marlboros, so he had just like cigarette butts just like everywhere in his home, everywhere in his trailer. And my dad was pretty much the same way. Like growing up in Tennessee, there would just be tobacco stuff everywhere. And it always smelled like smoke in my grandpa's house or in my mother and father's house. That's just always how it was. And so I would just be like sitting there inhaling secondhand smoke while listening to my grandpa talk about Judaism, and it was really comfy. Um, I forgot you said you had Jewish in you from Discord. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will make life better. Get them shekels. Yeah, if I was Jewish, like religiously Jewish, I could just go to Israel and get paid to go to Israel. You know, it's that easy. Hey Star, have you heard of Danky Kang? He made quite a few anti-vouch videos. I imagined you would make. Yeah, I have. I like Danky Kang. He's a good guy. He makes good videos. Molly Bloom, maybe you can get a soldier GF in Israel. Nice. Kibbutz. Yeah, I would live in kibbutz. If I had the chance, I would. But I can't lie to myself. I'm not a religious Jew. I talked to a rabbi. I literally talked to a rabbi trying to become Jewish. Didn't work. I couldn't buy into it. You know, I've talked to so many priests. Do you know how many priests I've talked to? And it just hasn't worked. I'm just not a religious person, unfortunately. Both my mom and my dad were atheists. My grandpa was Jewish. He didn't really follow the rules though. My grandma, who I never met, was Jewish as well. As far as I know, she followed the rules better than he did. I'm actually half Israeli. All you have to do is believe in the Lord Jesus Christ to be saved. Unfortunately, that didn't work out too well for me. I mean, when I was a kid in church, I always thought that going to hell seemed like the better option. Like, I thought when it was very, I had a very like warped. I didn't quite get the message that that was supposed to be taught in church, because to me going to heaven was just being alive forever. So how is that good? Like if I'm why would I want to be alive forever? At least in hell it's interesting, like at least you have interesting people in hell. I can't wait to go to hell. If I am going to hell, I cannot wait. But I don't really think that's going to happen. Um, but that's just my opinion. Um, learned learned about John Stuart Mill's take on utilitarianism in school gives me big intellectual thinker vibes. I don't know who that is. believing in Christ does help. Appealing to Christianity can convince most people that Christianity had a good moral compass. I just don't care to be part of any religion. I agree. Your vid on religion has shaken my beliefs. I'm glad. Um, but yeah, it's just never worked for me. It's just not. It's not who I am. I was raised. I was raised by atheists to be an atheist. That's the upbringing I come from. And plus, like again, I just had these weird idiosyncratic views, where like who who thinks going to hell is a better alternative? I feel like I'm one of the only people who believes that. I mean, my dad believes that. I was talking to him in the car the other day. He said, "Yeah, if I go to hell, it would just look like having an office job." I can't wait. Religions are cringe, but believing in God is based. I don't like belonging to any group that forces you to wear that particular hat. Nice. But yeah, I don't know. But being depressed gives you a weird worldview. I'm gonna be out of cigarettes soon if I keep smoking the way that I have been. I smoked almost four on this stream alone. Star is a based being. I would say more about religion, but that'll spoil the video I'm working on today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. I always like hearing different perspectives. You know, as angry as a person as I am, I like hearing different perspectives. I really do. I like trying to come to understand them. I just I like understanding them from a distance. Um, uh, God is dead. Laughs in German mustache. Nice. But yeah, I feel like yeah, my upbringing was really weird. Like I've never met anyone with the same upbringing as me. Like being homeschooled for as long as I was, combined with all of the abuse, combined with all of the moving around in like a span of a year, combined with all the like just weird stuff that happened. There's so many weird stories I have, you know, like I've met people with similar upbringings kind of, but like the exact train of events I had, I've never met anybody with old syphilis brain, old Bristol stash. Yes. When do I get syphilis? When is that gonna happen? Same. Yeah. Alienated boys out here today. I think I have an unfinished one in my drawer. Oh my god, my desk is becoming such a mess. Look at this. My desk? I almost yeah. My desk is just ash now. Yeah, my desk is just becoming ash all the time. This is all the time. There. Now I can't get it back at the camera angle I was at before. I liked the other camera angle. I can't do it. Whatever. I'll do this. This is decent enough. I have to go to dinner now. Why do you move when you move the camera a lot it lags for me? I forgot how it works for people in South America. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Where is it? Is it over here? Yes. Goodbye, Flitz. Goodbye. Yeah. You know, it's weird the amount of times I've almost died. Like, I feel like I've almost died a strange amount of times. Drinking Monster energy drinks and going for night walks is my only reprieve. I need to get some Monster. My bank account has like 50 cents in it right now, though. I need to wait for AdSense to pay me. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to Trump. I might actually vote Trump, just like as a joke. But I'm so thankful because it doesn't matter in my state of Kentucky. Like everyone here is going to vote for Trump anyway. Um, I'm so thankful to the IRS for giving my dad Trump bucks because because I have been able to use my YouTube money on stuff that I want, and my Social Security money on just stuff that I want. I don't have to give it to him for rent and food every month the way that I normally have to, which is really nice, you know? Like I'm so used to as soon as I get paid just having to give it to him to pay for food or rent or whatever. And it's nice. It's I'm going to work on my script now. Sorry I couldn't stay longer. I'll listen back to the stream. Bye bye. It was nice seeing you. Um, but yeah, like what was I talking about? Yeah, Trump bucks. But I hope I get the Trump bucks if they do another stimulus check. Please, Trump. I will vote for you completely this year if you just give me Trump bucks. Please, please. That's all you need to do. I don't care about anything else. Be as racist as you want. Politics is showbiz for ugly people. I agree. Er, Um, but I can't. Where do I what? Okay. The other day I had a thought that artists who have been in near-death experiences are better than other artists because they don't care about following formulas or whatever. I think so too, yeah, because like almost dying has made me just not care about most things. They know they are going to die, so they focus on making whatever art they want. Exactly, exactly. That's the formula. You can't let other people control the things that you make. You have to make them for yourself. And you realize that you start to realize when you almost die, you realize that a lot of things that people commonly care about or think matter just don't matter. You stop giving a shit about most things. That's probably part of why I can so easily, besides the fact that I've been homeless before, so easily just say, yeah, I would be homeless as long as I can sustain myself. It would be fine. Um, because when you almost die, you just do not care about stuff that honestly doesn't really matter. Certain samurai used to have a death meditation every day for that very reason. It's a good way of going about things. I should be working on my video, but Sony Vegas is being gay. Yeah, I get a lot of errors with Sony Vegas too. I think it's because my computer is really bad. Like, this is like a 2010 desktop that was made to do office work, you know? It's not really made to be making videos. I just make videos on it anyway. I'd build my own PC, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to build your own computer. Um, yeah, it's a lot of work. How's everybody else doing today? I know I asked that at the beginning of the stream, but it seems like new people showed up. Bye, JNS. Bye bye. RIP. RIP. Speaking of crushing Sony Vegas, MFW generally trying to normize myself out of neatdom, but Adobe keeps sabotaging me all of the sudden. All of the times their software crashes while I'm trying to do Portfolio from scratch. Yeah. Um, what are you doing a Portfolio for? Is there like a specific goal you have in mind or like a job you're trying to get into? Interesting. Um, literally helped my boomer dad mow his lawn. Nice. That's kind of comfy. You know, I think people should try to connect with their parents. I think that's important. I didn't used to think that was important, but, you know, me and my dad, we had a bad relationship for like most of my life, like really bad. And we wouldn't really talk very much, but, you know, when I turned 17, we started talking a lot more. I don't really know why, but he started getting a lot nicer after I ran away from home. Like, I think when I ran away from home when I was 16, that like a light just went off in his head, and ever since I ran away from home, he's just been like way more chill and way nicer. And it's easier to talk to him, you know? And I really enjoy talking to him. I feel like he and I are very similar in a lot of ways, and so it's easier for me to connect with him because of that. I think I developed a lot of similar traits to my parents because my parents were just the only people who I interacted with outside of my brother. And my brother got kicked out of the house when, let's see, he was 16, born in 95. So how old was I? That would have meant that was 2011. So 2011, I was 9 years old. Yeah. My brother got kicked out of the house when I was nine, because he had punched my mom in the face. Basically, and he's not really my brother, he's a half brother, so I don't really consider him my brother. But basically, me and my brother, we shared this room. There was two bunks in the room, and I, I I was on the top bunk for a while, and then like I came down later after the fighting was over. But my mom had taken my brother's phone from my brother because he was using drugs, and he was just being generally disrespectful to my parents all the time. And when she took his phone away, he came up, like he jumped up and just punched her in the face. And I was like right there when I saw this happen, and she was like screaming and everything. And my father came in the room, and he just like attacks my father, like he runs into my father with his, again, I'm 9 years old as this is happening, and he like grabs onto his chest like this, and it looks so stupid. It looks so retarded when he was doing this. And my dad just like slams him. He just slams him into our closet, and his like the bookshelf that was in the closet actually broke on my brother's back when this happened. And he was kicked out ever since then. Sounds like a little shit. He was a little shit. I fucking hate that guy. I hope he dies. But yeah, it was. Imagine punching your own mom over a fucking phone. Jesus, Jesus, it's terrible. This is a terrible thing to do. How old was your brother? He was 16 at the time. He is 25 almost now. His birthday is in like July or something. I don't really remember when his birthday is, but he's 24 now. But yeah, he was 16 at the time. Uh, I hate everyone, but I can't hit my mom. Yeah, I would never be able to hit my mom. And like, my mom has done some horrible stuff to me. Like, when I was about 8 years old, like, she locked me out of the house as there was a fire going on outside. So there was fire spreading all over the yard. And I had to take like pails of water to try and put the fire out, and it wasn't really working. I was like slamming on the door, begging her to please let me in while the fire was going on, and she said, "No, I'm not letting you in. I'm going to lock you out of the house." And so me, as like this little kid, was having to put this fire out. And then when she actually let me in the house, she pulled me by the hair, slammed me on the kitchen floor, and kept hitting me in the face with a fucking shoe. She was pulling my hair out. Again, I had long hair as a kid. So she was pulling it out and slamming my face with a shoe until I was bleeding. And when she took me in my room, she kept doing it more, because I tried to run away. And so that wasn't a very fun day. That was not fun. But I'm surprised I don't have nightmares about that. Like the stuff that I get nightmares about most of the time is like stuff that I haven't talked about on the internet. Um, but I'm surprised that has not bothered me more. Like I think other people, they would it would be impossible for them to talk about that. It was a little bit hard for me to talk about it for a while, but like to me, like it just registers as something that almost didn't happen. Like it feels like a fever dream. Like it was so real in the moment that I kind of disassociate myself from the memory. But I think, it probably had an effect on me. I kicked my parents out of their own home and only let them back in when they learned how to accept my atrocious behavior. Wow, that's a Chad move right there. My dad would make us fight him 40-year-old versus 14-year-old. Jesus Christ. Um, I mean, I got like slapped around and stuff by my father as a kid, but like I never fought him. Um, Yeah, my mom was always way more violent. Cause she has borderline personality disorder, and borderline people, when they get when their brain switches and they get really like angry and upset, they just become insane, you know. Um, my dad, he's bipolar, but he knew how to manage his bipolar, you know. Like his bipolar was, I think he had much more of a handle over it than my mom had over her BPD. And that's with him presenting psychotic features as well. You know, he had what is it, bipolar 2 presenting with psychosis or something like that. And he, you know, he could manage it way better than my mom could manage her BPD. So, like, I have bad memories with him of getting hurt from him, but it's like nothing like the stuff my mom would do, you know? My mom was just fucking insane. Um, oh, you know, is what it is. Maybe I'm just cursed. Am I cursed? Is this, the world's cursed me? Maybe it was a sign. Maybe it was a sign early on. I don't know. My dad and mom always on drugs, so at random they would beat us because he told us he could not hit a woman. Damn. Yeah. No, my dad never hit my mom either. I think there were probably moments when he might have wanted to, but he just never hit her. Uh, he would threaten her from time to time, but he never hit her. He would never threaten her with hitting her even. You know, he just didn't do it. Um, because he just didn't believe in that. Like my dad's a feminist, you know, literally a feminist. He would never hit a woman. So you know, it's weird. Uh, Fucking hell, man. What am I doing? Uh, what was I talking about? Anyway, um, uh, same. He would beat us when he wanted to hit her. Yeah. Uh, did not hit her, just like Tommy Wiseau. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, uh, oh yeah. Anyway, how? So what's up with you? What's his name? Hebe Chica. How is Hebe Chica doing today? How is Hebe Chica doing today? How is it going in the everyday world of Hebe Chica? Beyond having problems with Adobe. Adobe's not working. Feminism was invented by the Fabian Society to destroy the labor market. Look into it. Follow the white rabbi. Nice. Um, I mean, the labor market's looking pretty good to me right now. I mean, the people who advocate for women going to work just kind of want more labor. Like the labor market seems pretty okay to me. Basically aiming for another design internship for a paid position, but for now taking a break because it's driving me insane. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, design is a good field to make a lot of money in. Did you hear about that fitness YouTuber who did ayahuasca and had a psychotic break? I have not, but that's kind of funny. Um, yeah, I how much? I wonder how much ayahuasca he did. He probably did way too much. Do you have a job, Star? No, I don't want to get a job. I'm waiting on my disability application to go through. I'm hoping PTSD, the PTSD diagnosis I got will be enough. I'm hoping that'll be enough for them to consider me a neat buxer. I don't know if it'll work or not. I locked my Discord because some random chick asked me to cash app her some money. Jesus Christ. Yeah, don't ever fall for those people. They're just trying to trick you. Um, but yeah. Yeah, Discord sucks. What about in a few years? Why would I want to get a job? Why would I ever want to get a job? I would rather be homeless than work a job. Nice. Have you been learning by yourself for college? He's probably learning by himself because he's narcoleptic. I don't really know how going to college would work if you're falling asleep randomly, you know? Do they prescribe stimulants for narcolepsy in your country, Hibichika? Because in the US, they prescribe, oftentimes what they'll prescribe is like Adderall or Vyvanse, or sometimes they prescribe Digoxin, which is methamphetamine hydrochloride. Yeah, they prescribe meth to people with narcolepsy, pretty based. They prescribe meth to kids up to, I think it's age 6 and up, if they have really bad ADHD. Seriously, kids being prescribed methamphetamine. What a great country to live in, you know? Freedom. Freedom. I think a lot of countries do that, though. It isn't just the United States. Kids need that meth. Yes. Hey, I'm back. Welcome back. Kids need that meth. I started SSRIs at 14 when I refused to go to school. I was a late bloomer on SSRIs. I took them when I was 16, like around the time I had first turned 16. Um, I did drugs when I was young, and look how I turned out. Yeah, same. um, yeah, it's I took mood stabilizers when I was like 8 years old. There was a medicine called lamotrigine that I took, a mood stabilizer. They thought it would make me less angry. I ended up just getting more angry. Meth is a big part of my country. For example, Vietnamese niggas sell it on the market at Polish and Czech border. Why is it Vietnamese people? Do they just have a really hard time making money? I bet there's a story behind that. I bet there's a story behind that somewhere. My leg always twitches. I don't know why. Oh, hello, Russian guy. How are you doing today? How has the post Discord world been for you? Been prescribed, but it's expensive AF, so I don't take any meds. And Molly, college with a degree, but been a neat on and off due to past and previous mistreatment, finally started recovering from them. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know you went to college before. Um, I don't know. The Vietnamese are one of our biggest minorities. Interesting. Huh. That's odd. Oh, hi, doggone. Yeah, usually when there's a high minority population anywhere, it tends to be the minorities who sell drugs because being an immigrant in a new country is much harder than being born in a new country. So they have to turn to selling stuff like that. We got smart niggas in chat. Let's go. It's true. It is true, though. Leaving Discord. How has the absence from Discord been for you, Dogod? Because you left, right? You left after I made my video about leaving. I'm so glad I left. I have had so much less anxiety, anger, etc. ever since I left Discord. It's been a godsend. I love it. Um, um, Always thought some SoundCloud rapper should make a song called Straterylene as in straterylene. Don't know, probs lame. I mean, it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, same. Yeah, how's it been going for you? Oh wait, no, you just said yes to what I said. Never mind. Never mind. Um, yeah, being alone's just better. If you have like a hobby that you can do, if you have interests, things that you like doing, just do those things, you know? Just focus on that. Being alone is just better. I don't have any friends in real life and I don't want any. Yeah. I'm yeah, I don't know what my next video is going to be. Uh, I don't know what my next video is going to be. What should I talk about next? Oh boy. I smoked I smoked 6 cigarettes today. That's more than I don't normally smoke this much. Um, Normally I would smoke like one in a day, if that. Like oftentimes I'll smoke like one or two in a week, but like today, today I've been smoking way more than I normally do. Um, let's see, I can't wait to move out. I don't know if I can't wait to move out per se, but I'd like to move out at some point. South Dakota has a lot of really cheap houses. South Dakota is super fucking cheap to live in. So I think once I get my disability money, I'll just buy like a $10,000 house in South Dakota and then just fuck off forever. You know? I wanted to live in North Dakota, but the problem with North Dakota is that there's always flooding there. So because there's always flooding there, people lose their houses all the time. That's why it's so cheap to live there. The reason homes are so cheap in South Dakota is because South Dakota, no one wants to live there, you know? Because normies want to be able to do things. Normies, they want to go to the movie theater, they want to go see concerts, they want to go out with friends, they want to make friends. You can't really do those things in South Dakota. Like the dating scene is virtually non-existent there. Um, it's like there's no people, you know? I wanted to live in Maine because Maine is super isolated, where just like no one talks to one another. It like rains all the time and stuff. But Maine is much more expensive to live in. They have a high cost of living. You can't really buy a home very easily there. So I think South Dakota, South Dakota sounds like where I'm probably going to go, and then I don't know, just fuck off there forever. But I really hope that I get approved because I've been to the mental hospital so many times. Like they gotta approve me, you know. Like when I've when I've had as many suicide attempts as I've had, when I've been to the mental hospital as much as I've been, you know, like how am I not disabled? Like my symptoms cause interferences in daily life that make it really hard to work a job or go to school or do anything. So like they gotta approve me at some point. I'll just keep applying. Just keep applying until they do. I heard Texas is cheap. It is pretty cheap, depending on the part, but it's also way too fucking hot. I would never want to live in a desert. Way too fucking hot. I need a cold place. South Dakota's not as cold as I would like it to be, but it's cold enough. I'll take what I can get. Hey Star, how is it going? I'm alive. I guess. Uh, let's see. Don Jolly moved there from being homeless in NY. Yeah. It is definitely cheaper there than a lot of places you could live in, especially like New York. New York is super expensive. Thanks, Molly Star. Eat all, albeit specifically because the virus is rampant that we must strike the iron while it's hot. Normies becoming comfy with neat life thanks to lockdown can let us hikis take chances. That's a good way of thinking of things. Um, yeah, yeah. Take chances. You gotta take risks to get rewards. Um, you know what? New York fucking sucks. Not great over there. Yeah, I didn't like New York when I went there. I thought there were way too many people, way too many cars, too much noise, so much fucking noise, man. Um, I would much rather live in like a secluded, very like secluded area. Way too much noise, and it's expensive. It's super expensive there. Um, it's like one of the most expensive places in the U.S. to live in. Um, so much fucking noise, man. I just want it to be quiet. Like I get annoyed just by cars going by on the road that I live on, and they don't even go by that often, you know? Um, never went to the mental hospital. Seems like a big nothing burger. Another government jobs program to give the illusion of a functioning society. Oh, yeah, it definitely doesn't help. I mean, I think the first time I went to the mental hospital, it made me like worse mentally than I was before I went there because if you've heard my story about going to the mental hospital, I made a shiv. I made a shiv out of a chicken bone while I was there, and the only reason I didn't stab this guy who was constantly threatening to fight me, and like he would threaten to like smother me in my sleep and stuff like that. And we came close to like physically fighting a bunch of times. I was going to stab that kid with this shiv that I made out of a chicken bone because we were eating the chicken breast one day, or it wasn't chicken breast, it was like chicken, just like random assortments of like pieces of the bird. And every day when you go to the lunchroom, you have to put your plastic spoons and plastic forks into a cup. Everyone has to put that into a cup so they don't use it to harm themselves or to harm somebody else. But for some reason, that the guy who was with us, the nurse who was with us in the lunchroom that day, did not check to make sure we weren't keeping chicken bones with us. So I was there in the lunchroom, like trying to make a shiv out of this chicken bone. I put it in my pocket, and I had gotten to the point where I had taken it with me, where I could have used it as a weapon if I wanted to, and I threw it away. And the only reason I threw it away was because I was in a relationship with somebody at the time and I didn't want to go to jail and know that the person I was in a relationship with would be upset that I was in jail. That was the only reason. I didn't care. I wanted to stab that kid in the eye as soon as I got close to him. That was my plan. I was going to wait until that kid was near where I was. I was going to take the chicken bone and I was going to jam it through his eye as soon as he got close to me. That was my plan. And I was ready to do it. In fact, I was excited about doing it. I'm not kidding. I wanted to. But the only reason I didn't was because of that person I was in a relationship with, you know? Um, and so, did that make me more mentally worse off? Probably. I got assaulted by another guy multiple times while I was in the mental hospital. That wasn't fun. The staff was completely incompetent. They didn't do their job. So, is what it is. Uh, yeah. How different would have things been if I ended up going to jail for how long do you even go to jail for? Because I was 16, so they would have put me in some kind of like child detention center or something, you know? So like would I have had how long of a sentence would I have had? Because would they have tried me as an adult? They probably would have tried me as an adult. Um, like I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if I did that. So thank God for the power of love. I take back every negative thing I said about relationships. The reason I'm not in jail is because I was in one. So I don't take back any of what I said. All of it's true. Don't get into a relationship. The end of that one was horrible, uh, but it saved me in that moment. So I guess they're not all bad. It's like a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing, I guess. Um, I I I could imagine Molly Boom drawing wholesome hentai for a living. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Molly Boom, that sounds like a good idea to learn. Just don't get stuck being used by managers. Wait, what did he say he was gonna do? I want to be a fly on the wall. Those types of environments to learn internship of any type of creative animation. Oh, okay. Moving to another country plan is canceled? Question mark. I don't know about that. You know, like you could do a push up. Why? You like go the way of the Shad. Yeah, Shad Man. Become Shad Man. Um, but like, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I may very well still go to another country and just like be homeless there, but I want to spend a couple, at least a while, maybe like a year or more, of just like just living alone. In some, I'd have to save money to get to somewhere else essentially. Like the idea I was talking about, however long ago, was going to the Netherlands on a DAFT visa, because in order to get a DAFT visa, you just need 4,500 euro in investments. And if you have those investments just in a company's bank account, you can get a visa to live there for like 2 years and then have to renew it by just proving that you still have the money in that company's account. And it's basically like you're free to do whatever while you're there. And so I very well might do that. Technological society and its effects have been a detriment to humans. I mean, I don't care about humans. It's been a positive for me, so fuck everybody else. As long as it's been positive for me, I do not care. Um, but thoughts on joggers? Fuck them. I hope they die. Uh, really been thinking about the amount of the economy that's a Ponzi scheme. The developed world has so little productive work besides plumbers, electricians, etc. I agree. Yeah. Did you know that Shadman got kicked out of art college for posting lolly porn um, on his websites and getting in trouble for carrying a knife? I did know that. I believe he also got kicked out of the military for the same reason, because in Switzerland they have like everybody has to be in the military. It's like mandatory conscription or whatever. Um, CAC, nice. Unironically, one of the reasons I'm interested in the furry fandom is that it's a good market for furry porn drawings. I mean, hey, you gotta grind where you gotta grind. I don't blame you. You're not human. I mean, obviously, everyone who exists is human, but I certainly don't feel like one most of the time, because I like the kind of people who go insane because of the internet, or who have negative psychological effects because of just the internet in general, or society technolizing and whatnot. I can't relate to those people, because for me it's just been mainly positive. I would probably be dead without the internet. No, no cap on that one. I, you know, so I certainly attribute a lot of good things to the internet. Do you paint your toes? No. Um, but yeah, I think it's been very positive for me, very positive for a lot of other people. I don't know, maybe me being dead would be a good thing. I think about that a lot. Like I feel like if I died tomorrow, I would probably be pretty happy with that. Um, I just don't want to put in the effort of killing myself, so I don't do it. Um, it's funny, like every time in the last year, or like the last year and a half, where I've wanted to kill myself, I always, as I'm preparing to do it, as I get everything ready to do it, I always allegedly, everything I'm about to say is fake right here. I always do a bunch of drugs before I'm about to kill myself. And then after I do that, I don't want to kill myself anymore, because I just did a bunch of drugs and then I remember what drugs feel like. And so I'm like, what's the point of killing myself if I have these drugs that feel so good? Um, so like every time in recent memory where I was about to do it, because I have pills like in my room that I could do it with. If I wanted to do it, I could do it right now, and it would not even be that unpleasant of a death. I'm not going to say which ones I would OD on, but I could. And I've thought about that. Like like especially earlier this year, I would think about that every day. Like, what if I just took these pills and did it right now? Um, but you know, let's see. But do you think it would have been a good thing if you were never born? Oh yes, yes. Like, absolutely. Like, if there was just like a button that I could push, um, If there was like a button I could push to have never been born, I would do it immediately. No cap, 100%. I think everyone should have never been born. Um, in a past stream, you were vocally anti-suicide. Do you still feel that way? I have never been anti-suicide. What I said, and I think I know the stream you're talking about, was I don't want to tell other people that they should kill themselves because I think a lot of other people have the potential to enjoy their life more than I do. And so I try to be very careful with what I say about it because I don't want to encourage other people to do that. Um, I'm not against it though. I think being alive is generally a net negative. I really do believe that. So, like it's only through altering your chemical state that you can. You sound like a Final Fantasy villain. That's funny. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, I don't, but I don't think other people should do it. I don't want to encourage other people to do it. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's something I think about all the time, though. Like, maybe it's bad the amount that I think about it, but I don't know. I don't really care. But I mean, I guess thank God for allegedly for drugs because I would definitely be dead at this point. No cap, I'm not joking. Uh, Giving me flashbacks to my antinatalist phase, cringe, but not cringe because it's true. I mean, hey, whatever gets you through the day. But I mean, everyone has their own narratives that they construct in order to make being alive okay. I try not to judge people for what they have to believe in order to get through life because it really is hard. It's hard. It's really hard. Um, well, I try not to judge people for what they whatever they have to do to get through life. Um, so if like you were to say, antinatalism is dumb, then antinatalism may be completely true. I for one do think it is completely true. But you have to not believe in it because it helps you deal with being alive, you know? And it's a sad fact that a lot of people just don't have the strength to face, and I can respect that. But um, yeah, I've been depressed for a really long time. Even in my opinion, even a torturous existence is better than nothingness. And I mean, hey, if you need to cope with being alive by saying that, then that's fine. But the thing about nothingness the thing about nothingness is that there is no feeling. You don't have the consciousness or the ability to perceive things to have that opinion. And so, of course, it's better because there's the absence of any pain whatsoever. You don't even have the ability to perceive anything because there's just nothing there. Um, I would much rather have that. Do you have a reason you think that? Do you have a However, my life has been good relatively. Well, there you go. I remember what nothingness was like before birth, and it was perfectly pleasant. I don't really. I mean, if that is true, that's pretty incredible. You can remember back that far. Um, sort of the closest, I guess, sort of the closest thing. I don't know if I want to tell that story. Um, but yeah, do you have a reason you think that? I mean, I think my entire channel is the reason I think that. If you watch enough of my videos, you can kind of get a perception of the way that I feel about stuff. Gotta love that darker yet darker nothingness. Nice. A generic anime and gacha is the ultimate crack that helps most people my coping still. That helps most with my coping still. Anime is great. I spilled all my beer on my bed. Fuck me. R.I.P. You shouldn't have to cope to be alive. You should be enjoying it and thriving. That literally, you're never not coping. Like, people, again, may like denying this, and that's one way of coping. And I mean, if you have to deny it, that's fine. But, like, everything. everything is a cope. It always is. You know, we're all coping in our own way. It's never not coping. Um, and living is a cope. Exactly. What do you think about the hedonic treadmill theory? I literally don't know what that is. Um, but yeah, like, I mean, some people are just too afraid to acknowledge that, and it's fine. If it, again, whatever gets you through the day is fine. But, you know, what is the reason why existence is better than nothingness? Yeah, what is the reason for that? I don't quite get it. No, I mean the nothingness after death is the same before birth, for we all know, and that was okay, is all I'm saying. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Um, but I'm a Final Fantasy villain. I have the hair to be a Final Fantasy villain. Maybe, maybe. This is just how I woke up this morning. Um, but what what am I thinking? What are you thinking? What's on your mind? Um, yeah, brain damage. Damage my brain. I'm gonna make a song called Damage My Brain. The theory that everyone adjusts to the amount of pleasure or entertainment over time to a neutral level. I'd have to think about that. I don't know. Um, a lot of adjust to a neutral level. My laptop battery is 5 stops away. No nigga is going to jack my shit this time. Nice, nice. Get that battery. Get that battery, my guy. Um, I'm home alone and don't have any weeds left. Sad face. I see. A torturous existence one must endure. I see. Um, but yeah, I guess you could say I'm a pretty nihilistic guy, but I kind of enjoy that. Like, and this is me coping in my own way, you know. And I realize that there's contradictions to this. I realize that there's flaws with this before you point them out. Is that I've kind of taken the meaninglessness of life, or just sort of the void of it, and have allowed it. I can say that, like, I can do whatever I want, you know, that, you know, because there is no meaning to anything, and we're just sort of alive, and then we die. I can just do whatever, and I see that as really liberating. But I realize that that's also me coping with the nothingness that there is, and so I'm very self-aware about the fact that me saying that is not some like amazing thing that, oh, I figured it all out, because because in the nothingness there is the freedom, and it's no, these are all just abstract concepts developed by humans, and there's a reason that they're there, you know. You'd say I'm me at parties. Yeah, it's a good time. But I think I'm gonna have to let you go now, because it sounds like my father just got home from work, and I don't want to be, yelling up a storm in here when he's probably going to be going to sleep now. But this was a nice conversation. Thank you for listening to me. I really do appreciate it. Um, I do a lot. Later, I got to get my gun anyways. Yeah, have fun on your porch, man. Um, yeah, see you all later.